contributions to its growth and development while he served as the chairman board of directors of the FMBN from February 2013 to July 2015. We fervently pray that God in his infinite mercy will grant the soul of the departed.
You're watching Everyone Deserves a Home. Solidarity Multipurpose Cooperative Society is one of the beneficiaries of the National Housing Fund Scheme through the Cooperative Housing Development Loan Product. What makes this project different from others is that the Cooperative Society is developing the houses by itself for its members. Let's see details of this project in our next segment, Building Blocks.
This is Solidarity Multipurpose Cooperative Housing Project, located in Ruarua area of Uke local government area of Nasarawa State. The project is being funded by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria for Solidarity Multipurpose Cooperative Society.
This is under cooperative housing loan, and then the loan was gotten by the Cooperative Society Limited for their members who can only apply. Yes, and it's being executed by their members.
The 60-unit housing project comprises 30 units of 3-bedroom detached bungalows and another 30 units of 2-bedroom semi-detached bungalows. The project, which is at its third tranche in disbursement, is at various stages of completion.
There are 60 units, and they comprise of 3-bedroom detached, 30, and 2-bedroom semi-detached, 30 units. It's expected that at this tranche there's supposed to be 60% drawdown of housing and 60% of infrastructure, which has been completed by the estate developer.
The loan, which also covers infrastructure, will provide all basic infrastructure such as electricity, water, access roads, among other amenities.
We're expecting by the end of the project there should be good road network, and there will be tanks. Right now there are no tanks, but by the end of the project we'll have tanks for water supply and so on.
To ensure good quality delivery, the bank visits the site weekly to ensure compliance to agreed and approved standards.
We are always on site to ensure, yes, we are always on site to ensure that the developers are following specifications and are maintaining good project practice, good site practice.
The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria also puts the various materials the developer uses to test before they are put to use.
For every supply that is being brought, they go to labs and give us the results. And we have specific lab that they have to go to.
Get trained as a mortgage expert, smart property development industry player. Get that full option capacity training center for your individual or organizational needs at the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria FMBN Training Center. Courses are both technical and managerial in mortgage operations, finance, human resources, and ICT, all facilitated by both internal and external mortgage and property industry experts.
We borrow the money from the bank every month.
All FMBN courses are approved by the Center for Management Development. Meanwhile, the FMBN Training Center offers 8 training facilities for rentals, 3 seminar rooms of 30 sitting capacities, 2 seminar rooms of 10 and 12 sitting capacities, 2 conference halls of 108 and 78 sitting capacities, an ICT lab of 38 seats, and a 24/7 power supply. Visit the FMBN Center at number J4 Ali Akilu Road, Kaduna. Email training.school@fmbn.gov.ng or call 0901 280 3484.
Thanks for staying with us. Next on the program is the Dream Come True segment, where we bring you the stories of NHF contributors whose dreams of home ownership have been actualized by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. In this episode, we will hear Mr. Alagbeleye Christopher share with us what owning his own house feels like. Do keep watching.
I can assure all Nigerians that if you apply, once it is available, you will get.
Definitely the scheme is free.
It's a big testimony to stop paying rent.
Excellent. Seriously excellent.
It works and is real.
Mr. and Mrs. Alagbeleye Christopher are proud homeowners of a 3-bedroom fully detached bungalow at Woodhill Estate, Kuje, Abuja. Mrs. Alagbeleye, a staff of the Nigerian Immigration Service, tells us how it feels being a home owner.
It is very, very good to be a home owner. I was very, very happy. Initially, when my husband brought the form in from the office that there was an estate, I said, I will not buy the idea. I will know the expense we have before with fish. See, this one is genuine. So when we put in, we applied for the form gradually. When my husband came in one day and said that they said we should come and have our queue, that the house is almost complete. And when we got here, we see the work they have done. In fact, we are here where they are doing the finishing touch, and I was very happy to be here soon.
The journey began at her husband's place of work, where they were told of the NHF scheme. He did not think it would be a worthy venture, but he still went ahead to make inquiries.
We were sitting in our office one day when somebody brought the flyers that such company exists, Perfect Estate exists, that they are giving out house through Federal Mortgage Bank. I think about 6 of us, we sat together and then decided to make inquiries. That took us to the office of Perfect Estate, which after talking to us, they then gave us the address of their site. And we tripping down here. By the time we came here, we saw, I think about 2 hours or so that were already completed. We met the site manager. He took us around. Though initially, the distance of coming here was not encouraging. But when we see how serious he is and the numbers of houses they've been building all the time, we just feel encouraged. Then decided to hop in.
Today, Mr. and Mrs. Alagbeleye and their daughter live in a 3-bedroom bungalow. They got the house at a cost of 9.5 million naira only. For the Alagbeleyes, owning a home through mortgaging is a very easy and convenient way of owning a home without the hassle of building from scratch.
What holds the house is the foundation and the type of block they use. But when I saw the blocks they use, the kind of block and the kind of material they were putting into the house, I wasn't too, how will I put it? I wasn't too concerned about me wanting to build my own, because to some extent, most of the things they use in building the house will be what I too will have used in building my own house, apart from 1 or 2 things that I may want to change.
Aside the various infrastructural facilities they enjoy in the estate, Christopher commends the developer for delivering quality houses.
One of the things that encourage us to take the estate is because of the quality of the materials used, most especially the block. As we all know, the blocks of building these days, most estates you see that they don't actually have quality of block, but the block were solid. The foundation. So that's one of the things that at least shows that we have a quality house. You can see the wall, it takes strong name to it to penetrate to the wall.
Mrs. Alagbeleye has a word of encouragement for those yet to give the NHF scheme a trial.
We encourage them that they should go for it, but initially, in fact, in my office, there are a lot of people that put in for this kind of thing that they were very, very disappointed. But when our own come in, I told them that they should put in. That is very, very encouraging. A lot of our office people used to come here. They will see me and they will ask, madam, so you are here now? I say, yes. How is this place? I say, it is very good. Please put in. And a lot of my office people, at least I know at least 5 that have put into this space and they are enjoying it now. So I encourage as many people that wanted to key into this kind of thing, they should go for it and the Lord will see them through.
The board, management and staff of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, FMBN, deeply commiserate with the family and friends of late Elder BC Ogunjobi, who passed away on 11th September 2022. The bank is indeed saddened by the loss of this seasoned banker of repute, one-time vice president of the African Development Bank, a boardroom guru, an administrator par excellence, a devout Christian, a community leader, a philanthropist, and a distinguished gentleman. While mourning the exit of this great noble icon, the bank remains grateful for his immense contributions to its growth and development while he served as the chairman board of directors of the FMBN from February 2013 to July 2015. We fervently pray that God in his infinite mercy will grant the soul of the departed eternal rest and accord the family the fortitude to bear the loss. Signed, Management.
Our question for the week is, what documents do I need to present to access the rent-to-own product of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria?
The requirements for the rent-on is that for all our facilities, in fact, that you are a contributor to the National Housing Fund and that your income will accommodate the repayment of that loan, and that you have enough period within which you can apply for the loan and repay it before you reach retirement age. In this case, because the houses are already built, so you don't need maybe certificate of occupancy or other documents. And the fact that now we are only dealing with funded estates, so all you need to have is an allocation given to you. Then you approach any of our offices nearest to you or nearest to that house. Then you put up your application. You submit your 3 months pay slip so that it will enable us to profile you and see that yes, you can afford the repayment of that house.
You too can become a homeowner through the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria and the National Housing Fund Scheme. Make inquiries about how you can become a beneficiary of the scheme by visiting any FMBN branch office or logging onto our website on www.fmbn.gov.ng. Don't forget to keep a date with us next week, same time, same station, for another exciting package of the program. Good night, and do stay safe.
"24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
Welcome to Africa, the land of recent civilization. From the National Information Technology Development Agency, NIDA. This is NIDA Impact, your guide to a digital Nigeria.
Cybersecurity is essential to the perpetuation of our online existence. The theme of this year's celebration of the Cybersecurity Month is Stay Protected to Stay Connected. The areas of focus for this year's celebration are cyber hygiene on social networking platforms, instant loan applications, and ability to identify theft. These areas are becoming increasingly important for the average Nigerian. On today's episode, we're looking at cybersecurity. October is Cybersecurity Month, and NIDA wants you stay protected to stay connected. I am Kinyose Waboke, and this is NIDA Impact.
This is NIDA Impact, your guide to a digital Nigeria.
You can be a part of this program by logging onto our website at www.nida.gov.ng or all our social media handles displayed right on your screen. Let's begin with what's making the news headlines this week. Pantami, others commend Nigeria's outing at GITEX 2022. GITEX 2022's Nigerian startup ShapShap emerges global best in mobility and logistics. DG NIDA receives management of revenue mobilization allocation and fiscal commission, assures of collaboration. And now the news proper. The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Pantami, has described the 2022 edition of the Gulf Information Technology Exhibition, GITEX, as the best outing for Nigeria since inception, given the feasibility, participation, magnitude of benefits, and number of startups brought to the annual tech event. Pantami said this while giving a roundup of events for the 5 days as regards Nigeria's participation. NIDA Impact correspondent Joseph Johnson with the reports.
For 5 days, these smart minds from across the globe have been showcasing their crafts using different methods unique to their innovations as they pitch their ideas like never before. From a live interactive hologram where even yours truly had a feel of, to cloud computing, immersive tech.
This is interaction just to show people how to practice playing golf.
Artificial intelligence and robotics, fintech, and many others. Nigerian startups caught the attention of potential investors who stopped by for some African magic, if you like.
My name is Kelechi Uchenna, and I'm a co-founder of an edtech startup called Nigenius. Nigenius provides teachers with quality lesson plans and teaching resources on their computers and mobile devices, and also connects them to learners for tutoring. We also train some of the teachers on Nigenius and outsource them to schools as STEM tutors. It's been an amazing experience at GITEX 2022. I've connected with previous investors and met new potential investors. I've also met and closed out some good partnerships that we can leverage back home in Nigeria, and I've met some amazing individuals, startup founders, and stakeholders as well. It's been an amazing experience, and we're so grateful to be proudly supported by NIDA, and it's been a great one.
While giving an appraisal of events,
Shell approach, they have been working for many years, some of them 2 years, some 3 years, before they reach where they are. And this is the reality. The whole world is changing from resource-based economy to knowledge-based economy, being led by the digital skills-based economy. There is no doubt. So because of this, the future is good. And I do hope that when our Nigeria Startup Bill becomes a law, it will address most of the challenges we are being confronted within the digital startup ecosystem.
If we look at the achievements so far, we've signed an MOU with Microsoft to train 5 million Nigerians. We have startups that close deals worth more than 10 million US dollars, and we have a startup coming as a global winner.
As the 2022 edition of GITEX wraps up, there is a sense of gratification palpably reflected in the general mood here. As for the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Pantami, and the Director General of NIDA, Kashifu Inua CCIE, and of course the 33 Nigerian startups, which by the way is comparatively the highest number ever to be brought to the show. The event is nothing less than lucrative. From Dubai World Trade Center, Joseph Johnson, reporting for NIDA Impact.
Despite the beehive of innovation at 2022 GITEX, a Nigerian startup ShapShap has clinched the trophy as the winner in the Mobility and Logistics Innovation category in the Supernova Challenge Pitch competition. The CEO, Khalil Halilu, who was among the 2 Nigerian startups to enter the final stage of the competition, was presented with a prize of $8,000. Again, NIDA Impact correspondent Joseph Johnson reports that the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Pantami, who was pleased with the success story, described the victory as a win to all Nigerians and a call for investors to come and invest in Nigerian startups.
Our solution ShapShap is a marketplace that aggregates delivery orders, optimize and allocate to drivers, ensuring their sustainability and scalability.
A moment of victory, not just for the ShapShap tech innovator, but also for Nigeria and indeed Africa. Out of 90 countries and over 800 entries, Khalil Halilu clinched the trophy as the winner in the Mobility and Logistic Innovation category in the Supernova Challenge Pitch competition. A feat the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Pantami, says is heartwarming as he calls on investors to invest in Nigerian startups.
It shows that we are doing well. Don't forget that we have around 7 unicorns in Africa. Unicorn is a company that is valued at approximately 1 billion USD. Out of 7, 5 out of 7 originated from Nigeria. Their origin is from Nigeria. So there is no doubt we are doing well. And if you look at the competition, up to semi-finals, we had 9 startups. And at the final, we had 2 startups. And we have 1 winner. So it's a clear indication that we are doing well. The future is very bright when it comes to digital innovation and digital entrepreneurship. We are all excited.
For the Director General of the National Information Technology Development Agency, NIDA, Kashifu Inua CCIE, the solution ShapShap presented is going to impact not only on Nigeria, but the global market.
We are super excited to see our startup coming the best in a category, mobility and logistic categories. This shows that we have people with ideas, innovation that can change the world.
With $8,000 cash prize, the CEO of ShapShap, Khalil Halilu, says his tech game is about to go notches higher.
It shows that there is room for African startups to play on a global stage, and also show our capacity. Africa is a very local market. We need local players, to showcase solutions that are tailored, to this market. And this is a clear example that we have room and space to play.
Although the future seems bright for Nigeria's digital economy, many say there is more work to be done towards the realization of a digital Nigeria. From Dubai World Trade Center, Joseph Johnson, reporting for NIDA Impact.
Director General of the National Information Technology Development Agency, NIDA, Kashifu Inua CCIE, has pledged to assist the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, RMAFC, in digitizing its operations. The DG made the pledge when he received management of the commission led by its chairman Alhaji Mohammed Bello Shehu on a courtesy visit at the corporate headquarters of the agency. NTA Impact correspondent reports.
The Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, among other functions, monitor the accruals to and disbursement of revenue from the Federation accounts, review from time to time the revenue allocation formulae and principles in operation to ensure conformity with changing realities. Its management, led by the newly appointed chairman Alhaji Mohammed Bello Shehu, chose NTA as one of the earliest agencies to visit because of its strategic role in the information and communication technology sector of the country. Presenting their demands before the Director General of the National Information Technology Development Agency, Kashifu Inuwa CTIE, Chairman of the Commission Alhaji Shehu noted the transformation witnessed in NTA within a few years. His key demand was for NTA to assist his commission in digitizing its operations. This, according to him, will enhance the operations and effectiveness of the commission.
Of what the MD has done, I have never known that there is a building like this. When I came in here, even the air, the aroma of the air is different. We would like to ask the DG to help our commission in modernizing our operations completely.
In his response, the Director General of NTA, Kashifu Inuwa CTIE, underscored the importance of technology in curbing corruption. He explained that adequate deployment of technology would help the RMAFC to adequately monitor revenue-generating agencies and block loopholes. The Director General further disclosed that NTA, as the clearinghouse for all IT projects in the country, would assist the Commission in whatever way possible in digitizing its operations.
What technology will help you to achieve is to increase accountability, transparency, and efficiency. So your work is to monitor revenue. And we know manually it is not possible. All the challenges we are having, the leakages, is because of the manual process.
The visit was geared towards improving the technology and digital economy of the country through mutually beneficial collaborations.
This is NTA Impact, your guide to a digital Nigeria.
Digital Nigeria International Conference Exhibition and Awards 2022. It is another year to celebrate Nigeria's digital journey, geared towards the promotion and development of the digital economy in Nigeria. The Digital Nigeria Conference will hold from the 25th to 27th of October 2022 at the International Conference Center, ICC, Abuja, a super-loaded event organized by the National Information Technology Development Agency, NTA, under the supervision of the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, will be flagged off by His Excellency President Muhammad Buhari as special guest of honor. The momentous event will feature Digital Nigeria Day, Masterclass, Conference and Data Presentations, Digital Innovation Ecosystem, Blockchain Summit, Dinner and Award Night. To register and participate, kindly log on to the website www.digitalnigeria.gov.ng/register. Get ready, mark your calendar, and be a part of it. Digital transformation, a path to sustainable digital economy.
Time now for NITDA's cybersecurity updates.
Still on the Cybersecurity Awareness Month, today we will be focusing on mobile device protection. I am Mansur Aliyu Hassan and thank you for joining us. Mobile devices such as smartphones, laptops and tablets are always available, whether for work, travel or entertainment. These devices allow you to easily connect to the world around you, but they can also store a wealth of information about you, your friends and family, such as contacts, photos, locations, videos, health and financial information. Threat to mobile devices is increasing in scope and complexity daily. Mobile security involves protecting both personal and business information stored on and transmitted from smartphones, tablets, laptops and other mobile devices. Use a personal identification number that is PIN. Password. Pattern no additional feature to lock and unlock mobile devices. Turn off Wi-Fi and Bluetooth when not in use. Install a minimum number of applications and only ones from official application stores. Always ensure to log out of e-commerce website after making payment. Update device software and applications regularly. Install antivirus software on your device and scan it regularly. That's all we have for you this week. Stay tuned for more updates and thank you.
This is NIDA Impact, your guide to a digital Nigeria.
This week's special report is on cybersecurity. October is Cybersecurity Month and NIDA wants you stay protected to stay connected.
October is Cybersecurity Month, and the theme for this year's Cybersecurity Month is Stay Protected to Stay Connected. The theme is quintessential given the increasing levels of cybersecurity challenges that netizens have continued to face over the years. In this year, it is estimated that losses due to cybersecurity will hit $6 trillion. This figure even surpasses the global trade in illegal drugs. Yes, it is that serious. Cybersecurity is more financially deleterious than illegal drug trade around the world. End-user expenditure for information security and risk management market will grow from $172.5 billion in 2022 to $267.3 billion in 2026 at a compound annual growth rate of 11%. Experts expect global cybersecurity costs to grow by 15% every year over the next 5 years to reach $10.5 trillion by 2025. Further, AI adoption and sales within cybersecurity platforms will reach $46.3 billion in 2026, up from $10.5 billion in just 2020. Global cybersecurity insurance will grow from $12.47 billion in 2022 to $37.14 billion by 2030. As we can all see, cybersecurity is essential to the perpetuation of our online existence. The theme for this year's celebration of the Cybersecurity Month is Stay Protected to Stay Connected. The areas of focus for this year's celebration are cyber hygiene on social networking platforms, instant loan applications, social engineering, and identity theft. These areas are becoming increasingly important for the average Nigerian. There has been a proliferation of unverified instant loan platforms in Nigeria. The cyberspace, especially social media, is rife with such online loan platforms, and they are as notorious as advertised. Mrs. Hadiza Umar, FNIPR, Head Corporate Affairs and External Relations of NIDA, in a statement regarding the Cybersecurity Month, discussed majorly on the instant loan menace. She said, quote, "Users must exercise caution, weigh the risks and hazards involved in such offers, particularly when they pose a serious risk to their lives."
Here is Director General, Cybersecurity Challenge Nigerian Initiative, Victor Idono, to speak to us further on cybersecurity challenges and the crimes in that sector.
The importance of cybersecurity cannot be overemphasized. It is an issue that has to keep evolving. We have to keep doing the awareness every now and then. Reasons be, a lot of businesses, a lot of companies, individuals now carry out different activities in the cyberspace. Businesses are moving to the internet to as far as even the local supermarket around you wants to now start selling online, start selling with POS devices and all of that. So as the trend is moving, as businesses are moving to the internet space, it means the crime too is also moving to the internet space. That's why we have scammers, fraudsters, persons attempting wire fraud attacks on unsuspecting individuals. And sometimes, a lot of times, these persons are not aware. And good and fine, greed may be part of it, but again, unawareness, they don't have the skill level, the awareness about the possible threats that could happen. To that, they fall prey to it. So cybersecurity is relevant in the industry. As technology is making life easier for every one of us, there's also the need for ensuring that cybersecurity is in place to ensure the security of our personal data, our corporate data, our information, and all of that.
That was Victor Idono, Director General, Cybersecurity Challenge Nigerian Initiative, speaking on cybersecurity and its challenges.
Users need to be warned that many instant loan apps use harsh, unethical methods to recover money. They deploy measures like constant harassment and threats, sending notices, warnings to borrowers' contacts, and even threatening severe legal actions. If you must download, carry out a background check on the loan company running the app. Read and understand their terms and conditions before you accept. Be cautious, as your contact details, photographs, and locations can be copied by these money lenders. Ensure that these money lenders are Nigerian Data Protection Regulation (NDPR) compliant. Unquote. Mrs. Hadiza further advised the general public to reach out to the Computer Emergency Readiness and Response Team (CERT) unit of the agency via email on cerrt@nidda.gov.ng, web address on www.cerrt.ng, or phone number on +234 81 7877 4580 to report cybersecurity incidents. The CERT was established in April of 2014 in response to the increase in rate of cybercrime and in fulfillment of the requirements for National Cybersecurity Strategy. NIDDA CERT functions as a government CERT, coordinating and facilitating information sharing, providing mitigation strategies and recommendations for incident response and recovery, researching and analyzing trends and patterns of incident activity for government ministries, departments and agencies, NDAs, with extension to private sector as well. The unit has two subunits: 1. Event, Incident and Vulnerability Management, and 2. Public Key Infrastructure, PKI. NIDDA is always developing innovative new ways to help Nigerians stay secure on the cyberspace. Social media platforms attract great traction for a country like Nigeria, with the median age of 18.1 years. This means that Nigeria is a very youthful nation, and with the youth comes technology savviness. There are over 109.2 million Nigerians online, and this massive population with varying degrees of digital expertise need to have the knowledge of protecting themselves online. To ensure proper protection of Nigerians online, as well as sanitize the cyberspace, NIDDA issued the Code of Practice for Interactive Computer Service Platforms / Internet Intermediaries online platforms, based on a directive from President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, and empowered by its mandates to create a framework for planning, research, development, standardization, application, coordination, monitoring, evaluation, and regulation of information technology practices, activities, and systems in Nigeria, and all matters relating thereto, and for that purpose, and which, without detracting from the generality of the foregoing, shall include providing universal access for information technology and systems penetration, including rural, urban, unserved, and underserved areas, as clearly stipulated in Section 6 of the NIDDA Act 2007. The Corporate Affairs Head further admonished Nigerians to protect their identities while online, as identity theft is one of the more salient cyber crimes being perpetrated by cybercriminals. She said, quote, "The main objective of this kind of fraud is to obtain enough personal identifiable information about a victim so that the attacker can use it to conduct fraud in their name. The stolen information can be used for various fraudulent activities, such as taking over the victim's accounts, applying for loans in their name, accessing medical services, defrauding family and friends, and a whole lot more." Unquote. Reflecting on the theme of this year, stay protected to stay connected, we must all be careful what we do online. Limit the amount of personal information you put online, such as date of birth, mother's maiden name, national identity number, financial details, and restrain from using public Wi-Fi for sensitive transactions.
This is NIDDA Impact, your guide to a digital Nigeria.
Digital Nigeria International Conference Exhibition and Awards 2022. It is another year to celebrate Nigeria's digital journey, geared towards the promotion and development of the digital economy in Nigeria. The Digital Nigeria Conference will hold from the 25th to 27th of October 2022 at the International Conference Center, ICC, Abuja, a super-loaded event organized by the National Information Technology Development Agency, NIDDA, under the supervision of the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, will be flagged off by His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari as special guest of honor. The momentous event will feature Digital Nigeria Day, Masterclass, Conference and Public Presentations, Digital Innovation Ecosystem, Blockchain Summit, Dinner and Award Night. To register and participate, kindly log on to the website www.digitalnigeria.gov.ng/register register. Get ready, mark your calendar, and be a part of it. Digital transformation, a path to sustainable digital economy.
This week, we bring you the concluding parts of how to reduce the file size of an image or picture. Use Adobe Photoshop to compress an image. If you use Adobe Photoshop on your computer, there's an option in this program that lets you selectively reduce the size of your images. You have multiple quality and file size options to choose from with Photoshop. Launch Adobe Photoshop on your computer. Select File, open and load the photo you want to reduce the size for. Once the photo opens in Photoshop, select File, Save for Web from Photoshop's menu bar. At the top right corner of the Save for Web window, select the drop-down menu right beneath Presets and choose JPEG. Select the drop-down menu below JPEG and choose Medium. At the bottom of the photo preview on the left pane, you will see the size of your photo with the current settings applied. If this file size is still too large, select Low from the menu where you chose Medium. When you're happy with the results, choose Save at the bottom.
It is Media Impact, your guide to a digital Nigeria.
A day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet, and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
Yeah.
Latest entrant to the latest technology. Welcome to Intel 4G LTE Advanced and experience super fast internet access today. Visit intel.com.ng or any of our stores in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt to get started. Intel. Live more.
Welcome to Africa, the land of ancient civilization.
To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels, leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
I came into office at a time of great economic and international instability.
Liz Truss resigns as UK Prime Minister.
The Presidential Power Initiative remains a priority project for our administration.
Presidency affirms commitments to power sector reforms. Vice President Osinbajo insists global energy transition must reflect Africa's priorities.
Creates room for us to be able to secure this country with regards to imports of illicit goods.
Also tonight, Nigeria Customs Service surpasses revenue targets for 2021. Hello, good evening, and thanks for joining us on the NTA Network News. I am Kenan Ima Abolike. Hey, you know, John Adams will be joining us from Lagos in the course of this broadcast. Displayed on the screen for updates. UK Prime Minister Liz Truss has resigned, bowing to the inevitable after a tumultuous 6-week term in which her policies triggered turmoil in the financial market. Charles Alpha reports.
Came into office at a time of great economic and international instability.
I cannot deliver the mandate on which I was elected, says the UK Prime Minister Liz Truss. This is coming after she said she is a fighter and not a quitter and vowed to remain in power. Truss's premiership has been in turmoil since her mini-budget last month, which rocked markets and was later scrapped by her new Chancellor, Jeremy Hunt.
I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party.
She resigns as the UK Prime Minister following a speech delivered outside Downing Street, where she said she could no longer hold on after a senior minister quit her government with a barrage of criticism and a vote in the House of Commons descended into chaos and acrimony, just days after she was forced to abandon many of her economic policies. Liz Truss has notified King Charles III that she was resigning but will remain as Prime Minister until a successor has been chosen, with a Conservative leadership election scheduled for next week. Liz Truss's departure after 45 days in office makes her the shortest-serving Prime Minister in the UK history. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Back home here, President Muhammadu Buhari has reaffirmed the commitment of the federal government towards improving electricity supply in the country by resolving capacity deficit across the entire value chain of the power sector. This was while granting audience to the President and Chief Executive Officer of Siemens AG, a German consortium committed to meeting the growing global demand for energy. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the details.
The Buhari administration and Siemens had in 2019 signed an implementation agreement towards dramatically improving the quantity and quality of power supply in the country for sustainable growth and development of the economy. Under the agreement being implemented in 3 phases, Nigeria's overall grid capacity is expected to rise to 25,000 megawatts in the final phase.
The Siemens Energy team is already on ground and are fast-tracking the efforts to close out on the technical and commercial issues. For instance, the need to ensure there is alignment on turnkey frameworks, faster delivery periods of brownfield substations upgrades, loose distribution transformers, and local technical standards for project execution. We believe this is the right approach that will get us across the line in good time.
I just would like once again to reconfirm our commitment to the plan, to the initiative, and to the country to push in the next couple of weeks and months really as much forward as is still possible to make sure that we can really build this backbone of the energy system.
President Muhammadu Buhari described as reassuring that the first set of transmission equipment aimed at delivering 2,000 incremental energy has arrived in the country and will soon be installed to serve Lagos and Abuja, the nation's capital.
The Presidential Power Initiative remains a priority project for our administration, and Nigerians believe in the value that the Siemens brand can deliver. However, what I like to see is that we attain completion of the entire transaction process by December 2022. This will entrench the mandate of the Presidential Power Initiative in 4 committal terms. On our part, nothing is spared to ensure we improve the lives and livelihoods of our citizens.
While the overall framework for technical and commercial arrangements are being concluded, plans have been finalized towards ensuring that 10 power transformers and 10 mobile substations are delivered and installed by May next year. And out of the 5,000 engineers expected to be trained at the end of the program, 200 have already been trained on network development studies, representing an important knowledge transfer process.
I therefore urge Siemens not to relent in ensuring that our commitment to Nigerians in delivering the Presidential Power Initiative project is fulfilled. The outcome of this collaboration will deliver critical business enablers and opportunities to engage young enterprising Nigerians in various endeavors.
President Buhari used the forum to express appreciation to Chancellor Olaf Scholz of Germany for his government's continued support to the Presidential Power Initiative of Nigeria. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has described the current global energy transition as an opportunity for the preservation of the earth and a vehicle for unlocking the development potential and livelihoods of millions of people, especially those in developing countries. He, however, noted that the transition must also be fair and sensitive to Africa's peculiarities and priorities. The Vice President made the remarks at the 2022 Standard Bank Climate Summit with the theme Africa's Path to Carbon Neutrality, which took place virtually. Vice President Osinbajo focused on how to manage the energy transition to net zero in the context of Africa's unique challenges such as energy poverty. He said the global community must account for diverse realities and accommodate various pathways to net zero, particularly for African nations which need financial and technical support as well as the flexibility to develop as swiftly as possible. The Vice President, however, noted that to ensure a global energy transition that is favorable, African nations need to engage more critically and vocally on the matter in a manner that will ensure a fair and balanced energy transition that leaves no one behind. African countries, he says, must also take ownership of transition pathways and design climate-sensitive strategies that address growth objectives and clearly articulate priorities, strategies, and needs. It has been estimated by the International Energy Agency that Africa will need around $133 billion annually in clean energy investment to meet energy and climate goals between 2026 and 2030. Now, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration has executed high-impact projects across the country. He maintains that the projects meet the yearnings and aspirations of the citizenry. Anthony Forsen reports.
The briefing is the inaugural edition of the President Muhammadu Buhari 2015-2023 scorecard. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed set the tone for the Works and Housing Minister Babatunde Raji Fashola.
Naysayers have attempted to lay down the massive and unprecedented achievements of this government. Some presidential candidates have even released a poorly done photocopy of this administration's achievement as their own blueprint. For the series we are starting today, will leave them breathless and clueless as we cover all the achievements in the various sectors. Because we are so want to showcase the frequency of these briefings will be high and this will run through the remaining part of our term. Despite attempts in some factors to downplay the achievements of this administration,
The Works and Housing Minister, reeling out his ministry's scorecard, attributed the successes achieved to visionary leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari and commitment.
We have moved the needle on some of Nigeria's most difficult projects, and we are nearly closing them out. Lagos Ibadan, Niger Bridge, Apapa Ogunjobi, both body roads that seem to defy possibilities.
He said the federal government had no option in funding infrastructure projects, hence the obtaining of loans.
My conversation with people is, if you look at the meaning of abandoned projects, of abandon to abandon, it means to forsake. We have not forsaken any project. But the truth is that there are not enough resources to finance all of them at the same time. So perhaps we want to redesignate the nomenclature to uncompleted projects because we have not forsaken them. They were designed for certain constituencies. As revenues improve, priorities also. So perhaps in choosing what we do, if you look at this, we shared with you in the first time what we wanted to prioritize. We had 6 urgent priorities at that time, and you will also be able to glean them from the 9 priority areas of the conference of the retreat we just finished. One of our priorities was roads leading to ports, so that economy can move. We can decongest the seaport and the airports for efficiency of business.
The successes recorded in infrastructure include the completion of the second Niger Bridge, among others. He expressed satisfaction with a platform which he said has become a forum for spot-checking government programs and projects. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
The Nigerian Customs Service has restated its resolve to ensure that all leakages, especially through smuggling of illicit goods in and out of the country, are stopped. Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, Colonel Hamid Ibrahim Ali, said this during the 54th session of the State House press briefing to assess activities and performance of the customs in the past 7 years. He highlighted the activities to include destination inspection, import-export operational improvement, and revenue generation, amongst others.
That having realized the importance of human capital development, the service engaged in a massive training to boost the capacity of its staff, particularly the automation system, to fast-track the process of clearance and the general operations. This, according to him, resulted to generating of more than 2 trillion naira, which exceeded the target of over 1.6 trillion naira set for 2021.
Custom, as you know, without saying, is a global organization. We have what we call the World Custom Organization, which we all belong to. And under that umbrella, we operate virtually the same goods globally. We harmonize our system globally. So we need to get our officers to that level where their own capacity to be able to perform at the best practice globally.
The CG has commended the policy of self-sufficiency introduced by the present government, which boosted rice production and banned importation. In collaboration with other stakeholders, the Nigerian Customs Service, according to the CG, is doing everything possible towards fighting smuggling on land, water, and air, all in an effort towards blocking leakages. This is in addition to acquiring scanners to improve import-export capability. The Controller General also highlighted some of the operations to include fast-tracking the trade facilitation, excise on telecommunication services, fiscal and monetary policy enforcement, introduction of the automation of customs valuation for vehicle, as well as dedicated export command. This is an effort towards improving efficiency in the service delivery.
And that will give us an end-to-end electronic system. It will not only enhance our revenue, it will also create room for us to be able to secure this country with regards to imports of illicit goods. It will also give us the chance to be able to connect with the global best practice, because then it will also give us the chance to monitor and completely be able to monitor and protect our borders.
The CG further stated that the service is determined to increase growth in revenue of over 30% annually, reduce cost of doing businesses, as well as promote national economic development. From the State House, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
Time for our first break. We will be back shortly.
Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, in collaboration with the Best Strategic Media (TBS), wish to inform the general public of the Nigeria Excellence Awards in Public Service (NIPS) 2022, to be presented by President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Date: Friday, 21st October 2022. Venue: State House Conference Center, Abuja. Time: 10 a.m. Guests are expected to be seated by 9:30 a.m. The reward for hard work is a NIPS award. This event is strictly by invitation.
If today we say that the number of police officers, hypothetically, the ones we have, are not enough, and we want to expand the police force, for example, by 100,000 more police officers, we cannot fund it if we don't have enough taxes to expand the size of the police. It has always been said by some of the, that maybe we have few number of police officers per 1,000 Nigerians. Our ratio is low based on statistics globally. Now, if we want to increase by just 100,000, that will require at least an additional expenditure of about 200 billion naira a year. So it's very, very important that we pay our taxes, because that way we can ensure that we get the security that we all crave.
Nothing should divide us. Nothing can divide us. And absolutely nothing will divide us. In our togetherness lies our strength. Our diverse nature beautifies us. Yes, we may not agree socially, politically, and culturally. Not even our ideological, religious, or ethnic differences could lead to bloodshed. Let us draw a leaf from the painful reality of our recent history and give dialogue and negotiation a chance. Let us support our gallant men and women of the armed forces, symbol of our national unity. One people we are, have been, and always will be. Nigeria is my country. Your country, our country. Let us keep her together in peace and unity.
With your money, you don't need to worry. Them no go fit to scam you. And you don't need to like any transaction you go fit to perform. You don't even need smartphone. No. And you don't need that. Great killer wallet. Check your balance. Transfer money. Service you need. You can bank on it. Yes, you can. Just take your phone and press. In the village, in the city, anywhere where you do. It's a thousand, it's a la cara. Any job where you get it, just know say yes, you can. You can bank on it. Sorry, what more things are be sorry. No, carry last. Bank on it.
Same Naira, more possibilities.
The Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Muhammad, welcomes President and Heads of Government, the UNESCO Director General, Ms. Audrey Azoula, and other UN officials, foreign ministers, ambassadors, international dignitaries, and members of the Federal Executive Council to the UNESCO Global Media and Information Literacy Week 2022 with the theme, Nurturing Trust, a Media and Information Literacy Imperative. Date, 24th to to 31st October 2022. Opening session 24th October 2022 at the Banquet Hall, Presidential Villa, Abuja. Time 3 p.m. The other sessions of the Global Media and Information Literacy Week 2022 will take place at the Transco Hilton Hotel. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mrs. Lydia Shehu Jafia, MNI, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Information and Culture. Announcer.
Welcome back. 2 fake National Identity Commission officials have been arrested by the Nigerian troops in conjunction with the Nigerian Immigration Service and the police. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Musa Madami, announced this at a bi-weekly news conference in Abuja. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has details.
It's another defense media operations briefing on ongoing armed forces operations across the country. Top is the arrest of 2 fake National Identity Management Commission's officials and foot soldiers of high-profile kidnapper in Benue, Zamfara, and Katsina states.
On 13th October 2022, troops in conjunction with the Nigerian police and the Nigerian Immigration Services operatives intercepted 2 fake National Identity Management Commission officials. It was revealed that the suspect had visited Gagamari IDP camp in Niger Republic to register non-Nigerians in the IDP camp. Items recovered from the suspect include a National Identity Management number registration machine, printing machine, lamination machine, a computer tracking machine, and a generating set, among other items.
The director also gave details on apprehended vessel and the rationale behind its subsequent destruction.
On 7th October 2022, arrested a vessel, MT Daima, with 8 crew for illegal bunkering activities at Sara area of Escabos Channel. Recover and destroy. That is the mandate.
Similarly, within the period under review, 60 terrorists were arrested. 366 and their families surrendered to troops in the northeast. Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Engineers at the Nigerian Television Authority (NTA) are utilizing an engineering conference in Abuja to keep abreast of modern technology and techniques ahead of the 2023 general election. Thomas Owetere reports that the Director General of NTA, Salihu Abdul Hamid Dembers, was on hand to inaugurate the conference.
These are the heads of engineering from all NTA stations across the country. The essence of this gathering is to deliberate and come up with techniques on how best to transmit the 2023 general election. Olumuyiwa Idowu, a principal engineer from NTA Abeokuta, says the conference is apt and will promote cross-fertilization of ideas on how to improve on their previous efforts.
We intend to deploy new technologies like TVU Park, leverage on the use of ICT technology.
Director General of the NTA promised additional equipment to ensure hitch-free coverage of the election across Nigeria.
Live from the patients and after from these in the last elections that we experienced in the June and 86. And for me, it was quite important. And for Nigerians, it was also a shift from the normal. And we'll try as much as possible to do much better than that.
At this conference, they should network effectively, learn new skills, think out of the box, redefine their mandates.
My message to them is to equip and upgrade themselves with the relevant skills, the relevant technology, and prepare very well. We have no reason not to perform above expectation. I expect Operation Excellence.
Participants are expected to transfer knowledge at their individual stations. In Abuja, Thomas Ogbetere, NTA News.
And to politics now, the national chairman of the governing All Progressives Congress, Abdullahi Adamu, has reinstated the party's strong desire to retain power beyond 2023 through the ballot. He was, however, quick to acknowledge the role of the media in the process. Salihu Banara reports.
Next step to our last discussion.
Knowing the important role of the media in the society and the quest for power by the APC prompted this parley between the APC National Working Committee and the media. The critical role of the media in entrenching and sustaining a lasting democratic society and the role of the APC-led government in these regards were highlighted.
We want to continue to be the ruling party. And so we have to develop a capacity that whatever we do, we want to be positive as much as is humanly possible. And to do this, we need the media because we believe the party as a primary interested person in the outfit will be interested that its membership are fully abreast with what the leadership of the party is doing.
The party leadership promised to play a link role between the leaders and the citizens to provide and promote enabling environment for all businesses to thrive in Abuja. Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the final list of the APC Presidential Campaign Council has been released, with President Muhammadu Buhari still nominated as the chairman of the Congress. A statement released by the National Secretary of the party, Senator Iola Omishere, confirms that the list includes the party's national chairman, Abdullahi Adamu, as the deputy chairman, APC presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the deputy chairman, two vice presidential candidates Kashim Shettima as vice chairman, while Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong is the director general. The Tinubu Shettima 2023 Presidential Campaign Council has zonal coordinators, state coordinators, advisors, and campaign patrons. It has directors, deputy directors, secretaries, and directorates who will supervise about 33 directorates. On the other side, the People's Democratic Party says plans are on the way towards energizing its ongoing campaigns with input from the People's Democratic Institute, which is the party's training arm. Timothy Yusuf reports.
The People's Democratic Institute, PDI, is set to reopen after years of dormancy following the party's loss of the 2015 elections.
For training purposes, we have a screen this way.
The institute, established in the year 2000 during the administration of former President Olusegun Obasanjo, is to be the intellectual base of the PDP, where policy direction is fashioned out for good governance and national development.
Candidate right now, he has this document called Contracts with Nigerian, which encapsulates all its policy programs. And then as an institute, we are already working with that campaign to ensure that those policies are streamlined and guided by details, data, statistics, information, so that when it comes in, or when the PDP comes in on May 29, 2023, we're ready to go.
The institute is expected to provide the PDP with critical data and information towards formulating policies aimed at addressing the socio-economic needs of the country if victorious in the 2023 elections. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
And the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has been endorsed by some religious leaders as their choice for the presidency come 2023. The group, known as the Nigerian Interfaith Alliance, announced their endorsement of the candidate after a meeting with the leadership of the party. David Ire reports.
The about 20 years old interreligious body has been mainstreaming the gospel of unity among Nigerians, irrespective of religion. Convinced about the goodwill the Peter Obi ticket wields among Nigerians, the religious leaders have taken to prayers in order to secure victory for Labour Party in peaceful electioneering.
We need harmony between the Muslims and the Christians. Let us try Peter Obi this time and Deti and see how can we achieve something, especially the critical situation that we are having in Nigeria.
The Labour Party scored a point in giving us young, vibrant candidates.
The party has faced a series of challenges recently, including the fatal accident of some officers leading to the death of our zonal chairman, hence the need for God's protection during the campaigns. The Peter Obi ticket has also promised to bring sanity on board and ensure that the nation's commonwealth is prudently put to use.
We parade the best of presidential candidates who has the character, who has the pedigree, who has the competence, and who has the name, the reputation to drive the process of development for the country and rewrite and reposition the country for greatness.
The leaders are selected from Kaduna, Niger, and Abuja. David Irie, NTA News.
In the meantime, Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, is promising a full utilization of all federal government information agencies and parastatals to strengthen the cause of mobilizing Nigerians towards a successful 2023 population and housing census. Oluseye Adabo reports.
The National Population Commission has been leading an advocacy for a fair and an all-inclusive 2023 census that will help achieve a verifiable data outcome. But for this principal data mining commission of the federal government to achieve this task requires more holistic efforts and has since been receiving promises of support and partnerships. The National Orientation Agency has agreed to use its strength to advance the census project, and here is a 3-day national capacity building workshop for NOA's coordinators in the 36 states of the Federation and other top management staff to get clearer content and messages on the 2023 census.
If the NOA is properly informed, you can be sure that they'll be able to pass accurate and reliable information to the residents.
NOA's Director General Garba Abari delivered the Minister of Information's message at the meeting.
The census is something that requires a lot of information, and the Federal Ministry of Information and its agencies, relevant agencies, are all going to be deployed, towards creating the necessary awareness.
The message also is to be able to get information about the environment in which people live, so that the authorities on climate change and environment generally will have data to use for planning.
While the NPC, organizers of the workshop, hopes for an effective census program's publicity, participants are already speaking of their readiness to take the message to the grassroots.
The essence for us to go out and sensitize the general public about the benefits of the program.
The National Capacity Building Workshop is with a central theme, process and methodology for the 2023 population and housing census. In Abuja, Oluseye Adabo, NTA News.
In a move to explore how to further provide further financial succor for states regarding repayment of the federal government's budget support facility, the National Economic Council has decided to review the Central Bank of Nigeria's plan to commence deductions from state government's share of the monthly federal allocations. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
The National Economic Council, at its virtual meeting, resolved to set up a committee with representatives of the federal government and the states to review their plan to commence the deduction for the loan, bearing in mind all of the financial difficulties facing states.
While noting that a lot of funds that have been hidden from states before the present administration have also been graciously given to states by Mr. President and his team, and that has helped the state very much. So while commending them, the NEC agreed to engage the CBN governor with the Minister of Finance and the Governors Forum, and of course make a committee. And so it was agreed that this deduction will have to be reviewed to seek other ways, that if it goes ahead, the state will suffocate, and that will not be good for the nation.
The Council also endorsed the revised National Social Protection Policy presented by Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed.
The expected benefits of the revised NIPS includes reduction of multi-dimensional poverty, promotion of social justice, equity, and inclusive growth, reduce unemployment, social and economic vulnerabilities, and other threats to sustainable development.
There was a call to the governors to endorse the WASH Pledge Card, which is a commitment to make Nigeria open defecation free by 2025.
Called on state governors to do more to prioritize WASH and to commit in accordance with the pledge card that was circulated to the governors through the governors forum to make their pledge and commit to that pledge to eradicate open defecation and improve investment in WASH services going forward.
NEC also resolved to constitute a committee of the federal government and state governors to liaise with other relevant stakeholders to find immediate and long-term solutions to flooding problems across the country.
Commending Mr. President, having met with some governors with regard to this flooding issue. And so NEC agreed to set up a committee which will look at immediate solutions and interventions, over the flooding and to see how we ameliorate the sufferings of those who are affected and the states too. And also to provide, long-term solution in line with what the Minister of Water Resources is doing together with, the action plan of Mr. President in this regard.
Vice President Yemi Oshimajo presided over the virtual meeting, which was also attended by the new Ekiti State Governor, Oyebanji Abiodun. From the presidential villa in Abuja, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
In health, the Abdul Samad Rabiu Africa Initiative, ASR Africa, is set to invest $500,000 towards strengthening efforts and intervention aimed at reducing the burden of tuberculosis and HIV in Nigeria. Olusheye Adabo reports that the ASR Africa is partnering with USAID towards realizing this new health target.
The Abdul Samad Rabiu Africa ASR Africa initiative is the brainchild of industrialist, philanthropist, and founder of Boa Group, Abdul Samad Rabiu. It has been involved in interventions across sectors, promoting the cause of better public health care service across the African continent. The latest initiative is this new agreement with the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, after closely following up on its track records and coordination towards ending TB as well as HIV in Nigeria.
We made a donation, but like I was saying earlier, I believe this donation actually is to ourselves. The Nigerian people are going to be the beneficiaries of the intervention. USAID is going to give us an expanded scope. We're going to lean on your expertise and your implementation framework.
USAID actively engages with private sector partners in Nigeria in the drive to mobilize resources to counter these diseases and to ensure quality of life for the people that we serve. Today's event with ASR Africa aligns very much with this strategic approach.
The scope of this partnership and future engagements highlights the signing, even as the managing director and Chief Executive ASR Africa Initiative explains motives which drive the commitment.
This partnership with USAID is so critical, and it also gives us the opportunity to expand the scope of our operations, expand the scope of our impact, and make sure that we're reaching the people who deserve the support and help.
Lagos, Katsina, and Kano are among the 7 selected states in Nigeria to benefit from the intervention. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Adeola in Lagos is next. Hello.
Kene, it's Hinginu, not Adeola. Thank you for joining us in Lagos. We begin here with the judiciary. Former Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Lagos State, Olasupo Shashore, accused by the AFCC for contravening Anti-Laundering Act, has been arraigned before Justice Chukwujeku Aneke of the Federal High Court, Ikoyi, Lagos. Amaka Owo reports that the accused was granted bail in the sum of 50 million naira, among other conditions.
Former Attorney General of Lagos was alleged to have made cash payment of the sum of $100,000 to Olufolakemi Adlore through Awalu, Habu, and Wale Aboderin. The charge also added that the former Lagos State Attorney General made cash payment of the sum of $100,000 to Ikechukwu Ogwine without going through a financial institution. The sum which the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, said exceeded the amount permitted by law. The prosecutor, Mr. Balla, told the court that the offences contravened the Money Laundering Prohibition Act. However, Shashore, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, pleaded not guilty to the charges after it was read to him. Following his not guilty plea, legal team to defendant led by Candace Johnson asked the court to admit their client to bail on self-recognition. The defense counsel urged the court that if the court is mindful of granting him bail, he should be given 7 days to meet the conditions. Justice Aneke, after citing plethoras of authorities, gave his ruling by granting bail to the former Attorney General Shashore, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, in the sum of 50 million naira, with one surety in the like sum.
We are not even opposed to it for the simple reason that there are recent developments in law, which means that for the prosecutor, it is advantageous for even a defendant to jump bail.
The judge also ordered that the surety must be a director or permanent secretary in the government establishment, adding that the defendant's traveling passports with the EFCC be transferred to the court's deputy registrar. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
Airtel Africa is taking the most-watched musical reality talent show in Nigeria to 13 other countries on the continent. Ruth Aria Samuel reports that this was announced at the official unveiling of the maiden edition of The Voice Africa in Lagos.
The Voice Africa.
Music is the soul of Africa, as it not just entertains but brings people of diverse cultures together. Over the years, music lovers in Nigeria have been entertained on the biggest musical reality talent show, The Voice, a platform where raw talents have been discovered. That season is here again as Airtel Africa is taking the competition around the continent.
You will be amazed to know that no one ever in the world has done a competition across multiple countries. You can hear Voice Nigeria or Voice India or Voice this, Voice that. But for a continent to have done this, 14 countries competing for that one big continental title, never done before.
I must say, sponsoring The Voice Africa was a very easy decision to make, because it not only aligns with the philosophy of our brand, but also consolidates on the current dominance of world music by Africans.
Online auditions begins Friday, 21st of October and will end November 10th, 2022. The organizers are looking forward to an entertaining show.
We believe in African talent. We believe in African entertainment. The show will be in 4 stages: blinds, battles, knockouts, and then the lives, which will go into a finale. And like Nandu said, there will be one winner, but this time, all participants, all talents will be winners.
The competition will start with submissions of a 1-minute recording of intending contestants singing without instruments. And at the end of the show, the winner will be awarded a record deal and a minimum sum of $100,000 prize winnings. In Lagos, Ruth Ariel Samuel, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on your on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for a break. The news will be back with Kene in Abuja shortly.
The Road Infrastructure Tax Credit Scheme is one of the innovations of this government in order to encourage investment in critical infrastructure. We have the one that NNPC is handling. There are 21 roads spread across the 6 geopolitical zones that are being handled. So this is a very important scheme. It's leveraging on the capacity of the private sector to be more efficient in project delivery. And I'm sure that by the time some of these routes become operational, it is going to improve the competitiveness of Nigeria's economy and in the end reduce our imports.
Bye, Mom. He's going to play in this weather. Why did you let him go? He might fall ill.
And if he doesn't go out for practice, how will he win more trophies? To protect our family from illness-causing germs during the rainy season, we use Dettol soap every day.
Dettol with Germ Defense gives you protection. Rainy season brings a lot of germs, and Dettol soap's Germ Defense protects you from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Dettol soap is endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association. Be Dettol sure.
My son Aiden wants to be a great actor like you.
How did I do?
You did great.
A couple of years ago is when his acting began.
Think you can play?
Yes.
Catch.
I take him to auditions and give him Twister, our family favorite. With the right support, my boy is going to be a great actor.
You got the role!
Give your kids Twister to support their big dream. Twister, power your dream.
You are my sunlight. You are my sunlight.
Sunlight makes things easier, so you can do more.
You are my sunlight.
When you become more, you inspire others to be more too. Sunlight is here to support you as you reach for more success. Sunlight, more than you expect.
Friday, November 11, 2022. History will be made in the maiden edition of the Nigerian Marketing Awards.
Are you ready? It's happening live at the prestigious Eco Convention Center, Lagos, from 6 p.m.
It's a night where excellence and hard work will be rewarded in grand style. Be a part of this amazing experience. Save the date. The Nigerian Marketing Awards is internationally accredited by the Independent Awards Standards Council.
In a third Friday in 20 years.
Simply out of this world. Get a GoTV decoder, GoTenna, and 1 month max subscription for only 6,900 naira. Watch all the 64 games live from Qatar on GoTV Super.
Thank you for staying with us. President Muhammadu Buhari has joined us in celebrating the General Manager and Chief Executive Officer of National Theatre, Professor Sunday NSC Ododo, who just turned 60, congratulating the screenwriter, playwright, poet, and renowned thespian on the milestone. The president affirms that the works of dramatists and theatre makers like Professor Ododo have significantly contributed to the understanding and acceptance of Nigeria across the world, curating identities, lifting and giving relevance to folklores and cultures, and pushing barriers on performances that have culminated in recognitions and awards. The president believes the scholar's versatility and flexibility in teaching the theories and practice of theatre and other literary genres continue to inspire new interest in research on Nigerian and African culture, paving way for the younger generation to embrace theatre as participatory communication and platform for benchmarking and networking. Up next is business news, and Benny Adams is our guide.
Thank you, Kene, and welcome to Business. Start by telling you that the federal government has announced complete liquidation of inherited liabilities for Nikon Insurance and Delta Steel Company. More than 7 billion naira was the outstanding payment, 56 months of pension liabilities, which the present administration inherited, 100 months, while 49 months out of the 96 months inherited from Delta Steel have also been completely liquidated. Choma Ejikeme, Executive Secretary of PITAD, disclosed that the inherited unfunded liabilities of the defunct agency was over 95 billion naira at inception.
Made possible by the support received from the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, the committees of the Senate and House of Representatives oversighting pensions, the Budget Office, and the commitment and political will of our most pensioner-friendly President, His Excellency, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, who has made payment of pension and retirement benefits a topmost priority of this administration.
And on the capital markets, the Nigerian equities market recorded first gain of the week as it closed slightly on the green at the end of trading session. A total of 119.2 million shares in 2,909 deals, corresponding to a market value of 3.2 billion naira, were traded. Compared with the previous trading day, today's data shows 28% decline in volume, 13% decline in turnover, and 9% decline in deals. The current market capitalization stands at 24.2 trillion naira. Fidelity Bank recorded the highest volume, followed by Guarantee Trust, and well, that is end of business news. Network news continues after this break.
The Nigerian electoral system is seemingly simple, yet may be complicated for some.
It's for them to come and tell us what they have.
Running an election is equivalent to what? A job application. I want them to identify the issues plaguing the common Nigerians.
PDP should focus on PDP and APC should focus on APC.
Let's show you what an election is all about, as Nigerians pick the next president, governors and legislators. We interrogate their plans, question the rationale and review the prospects. Join us, the Ballot.
The purpose of taxation at the end of the day is to be able, is for the government to be able to provide certain goods and services that are usually called pure public goods that can only be provided by government. So one of the most important functions of government is maintaining law and order, providing property rights, ensuring Nigeria is fully represented in the community of other countries. And because of this, obviously, you need money to do these things. So how does government get money? It is through taxation.
The 35th National Festival of Arts and Culture, Ekona Fest 2022, with the theme Culture and Peaceful Coexistence, holds from Monday the 7th to Sunday 13th November 2022 at the National Stadium, National Institute for Sports, Lagos State. Time 10 a.m. daily. The official opening ceremony will take place on Wednesday 9th November 2022. Time 11 a.m. Venue Onikon Stadium, Lagos State. Ekona Fest 2022, promoting culture and peaceful coexistence. Otumba Olusegun Urushewe, OON, Chairman, National Festival Planning Committee, Announcer. Media partners: NTA, AIT, LTV, FRCN, Eagle 7, Sports Radio, and Fiscal Television.
The Nigerian electoral system is seemingly simple, yet may be complicated for some.
It's for them to come and tell us what they have.
Running an election is equivalent to what? A job application. I want them to identify the issues plaguing the common Nigerians.
PDP should focus on PDP and APC should focus on APC.
Let's show you what an election is all about, as Nigerians pick the next president, governors and legislators. We interrogate their plans, question the rationale and review the prospects. Join us, the Ballot.
The Akwa Ibom state government is advocating what it calls fair global trade transactions where parties involved can enjoy profit and technological advancement. This was at an interactive session with UK investors held in London. Kelvin Samuel reports.
Akwa Ibom State in the last 35 years evolved into a mega of some sort, and with its industrialization agenda driven by Governor Udom Emmanuel, the government is not resting in its effort to achieve more for the state. At this interactive summit in London, Governor Emmanuel says fair trade in the global community can only come from value addition and technology transfer rather than raw material exploitation, which has spanned for decades.
In Africa today, when you're talking about unemployment, I say unemployment is not the issue. If we can build capacity, Africa have a whole lot of resources to trade with even other countries outside Africa. And if we have that capacity building, we can actually develop a whole lot of what we have.
The governor also emphasizes that fair trade will only remain an ideology if raw material-bearing countries remain without technology transfer from industrialized nations. Commonwealth Entrepreneurs Club later interacted with the governor on ways to partner the state's industrialization drive, where he was presented with certificate of membership of the club. In Uyo, Kevin Samuel, NTA News.
And that concludes NTA Network News tonight. Thanks indeed for watching. And do remember to key into NTA's fight against rape and rapists. I am Kene Ima Abudike. Of course, the ballot comes up next.
Issues in the sports sector remain one of the most debated among Nigerians due to the passion, followership, government involvement, impact on Nigeria's external image and our national life in the sports parliament. The NTA offers Nigerians deep views on issues with experts in the sports sector, offering in-depth analysis, insight and foresights towards elevating Nigerian sports to the zenith on the floor of the sports parliament. Sports Parliament, a unique platform for sports discussions, showing live on the NTA. Keep a day with the parliamentarians. You guys have it.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
This is the network service of the NTA. This is the network service of the NTA.
The D-Day is here, and it's happening in Ukari, headquarters of the ancient Kwarafa Kingdom. The new Aku Uka, His Majesty Elder Manu Ishaku Ada Ali Mataki Toy, will formally be presented with the staff of office. The ceremony will be performed by His Excellency Architect Diego Dixon Ishaku, TON. Bet on your luck with OneXBet. Test your luck and get a chance to win one of the super prizes. Bet on the sports event with OneXBet. Get the tickets and take part in the super cool prizes draw. Technospark smartphone, powerful generator, or a cool Bajaj motorcycle. Bet on your luck with OneXBet. It is Kamada. Good save, but it's come straight back to him. That's it. It's hot now. Great goal! Great goal! Classy.
SportyBet sponsors coverage of the German Bundesliga.
Passions begin to rise. Remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels, leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
Verification. But good social media users stop, reflect, and verify information before sharing it. Be a good social media user. Stop the spread of fake news. Verify the authenticity of your source and use social media responsibly for a better Nigeria. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, in collaboration with the National Orientation Agency.
Nigeria is Africa's most populous nation, with cultural and media influence throughout the entire continent. But it's facing a conservation crisis. wildlife and national parks are highly endangered by poaching and illegal logging.
Hello and welcome everyone. We're live in Abuja. I'm Nnamdi Odipo. This is the Ballot. It's a lovely evening here in Abuja. I trust that you're mostly had an interesting day. Allow me attempt to make that more interesting as we discuss politics, the campaigns, the candidates, but most importantly, their plans. But then let's bring you the major highlights for tonight.
People are looking at women as if they are beggars. They are just follow. So we want to say, no, enough is enough.
Nigerian women read riot acts on policy of political choice.
Any money advanced to the party was declared before the National Working Committee.
My silence is strategic, not admission of guilt. PDP National Chairman fires back in refutation of allegations of corruption. Also tonight, we have the latest final list of the APC Presidential Campaign Council. Let's remind you that for decades in Nigerian politics, whether it is during the campaigns or in terms of voting during elections proper, women have consistently formed the bulk of the participants. While that may be the case, it is however no secret that this apparently large stratum of the Nigerian population has yet to translate their numerical strength into clinching key political positions. This election season looks to be headed in that same direction, arising from the fact that there is just a single female candidate among the 18 contenders for the president position. The emergence of another female candidate at the governorship level is currently being contested in court, with an unfavorable judgment already against the female candidate in Adamawa. Time would, however, tell, as the court process is clearly still ongoing. Now, in spite of being down on their luck, in efforts at garnering significant elective positions this season, the women are not laying back, but rather they are making strong demands of the menfolk who will constantly beat them there and yet need their support to win elections.
As we all know, women are the highest voting bloc when it comes to election. And at the end of the day, women will do the work, and some people else, I cannot say the men, take over. And then we will be left behind. That's why people are looking at women as if they are beggars. They are just follow. So we want to say, no, enough is enough.
As you know, the parties have refused, to implement this 35% to ensure that women who are contesting for election are up to 35%. So we want a government that will give at least more than that 35% in appointed positions, to women.
Meanwhile, I am sure many of you are abreast of the WikeRU PDP Wahala series. Is it season 1 or 2? However, I'm not sure which or what number to target, but apparently the drama is still unfolding. The new twist in the narrative is the eventual reply by the national chairman of the PDP, Senator Yocho Ayu, to Governor Wike and his camp, as well as others wishing to know what is silent, wishing to know that the silence over allegations of corruption is strategic for peace and reconciliation within the party and not an admission of guilt.
Any money advanced to the party was declared before the National Working Committee and handed over to the treasurer of the party. The party's accounts are straight, they are up to date, and we promise to present the party's accounts at the end of the year.
And finally, on our story lineup is the release of the final list of the APC Presidential Council. The latest list still has President Muhammadu Buhari as the chairman, while the APC National Chairman Abdullahi Adamu remains the Deputy Chairman 1, and APC Presidential candidate Balla Ahmed Tinubu as Deputy Chairman 2. Vice Presidential candidate Kazim Shettima retains his position as vice chairman. So also Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong, who remains the Director General of the Presidential Campaign Council. Hopefully the new inclusions, of course, will be reflected in the expanded council comprising zonal coordinators, state coordinators, advisors and campaign patrons, as well as directors, deputy directors, secretaries and directorates. Now let's get into the main business for tonight, and I have a guest from far away Paris, France. He is a lawyer and one of the spokesperson for the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar. I'm talking about Barrister Daniel Balla, I beg your pardon. I think he should be joining us anytime soon if we have him online. Great, he is online. Barrister, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us all the way from France, from Paris, France. I wonder what time it is over there and how the weather is. I hope the weather is just fine. Thank you so much for joining us on the ballot.
Thank you for having me. The time is 1 hour ahead. The weather is all right.
Oh, fantastic. Good to hear. Just so we'll make it clearer, and I mean, just so the public also gets it right, we've been there have been a couple of reports about your principal. The Atiku Abubakar, of course. I know you did kick off your campaigns about 2 weeks ago, but is your campaign currently stalled for whatever reasons? There are conflicting reports, like I did insinuate earlier, about your principal's health and him jetting out to attend to his health in Paris, while an official statement from Paul Ibe, the media aide to Atiku, said otherwise and said that your candidate is having some business engagement somewhere in Europe. Can you give us some insight into what the true situation is with your campaign, or your party's campaign, that of your principal, and your candidate's whereabouts?
Well, thank you for having me, and good evening to Nigerians. My principal, Atiku Abubakar, is well and hearty, has not been sick. We travel with him here for a business meeting. The idea behind this ridicule was published by a jester in All Progressive Party, one of those people who should have grown up to be a man but act like a toddler, and whose only value in that political party is social media nuisance value. They didn't consider him worthy enough to be a spokesman. He's like a fallen angel. So they didn't consider him worthy enough to be a spokesman. They knew he was going to be very effective in insulting people, so they made him director of the social media, where he will fall into his natural habitat because he doesn't have value, so to speak. A man who has been a minister of the Federal Republic, you would have thought that over a period of time he should have grown and become a statesman in the country, but he has just become a jester at the moment. Our principal is doing very well. Our campaign has never been put to hold. Everything is unscheduled. By God's grace, we are going to be in Benin this weekend for the campaign, and we are upbeat. Of course, you must know that amongst all the political parties, APC and Labour, the other two political parties that are considered as ones close to us, they have never been ready. The campaign council of APC are just announcing that was released yesterday, and it consists of strange bedfellows. And you are going to see by the time they start that is going to be horrible and horrendous. I
hear you. I think we should just get right into it. So,
we went on to start.
Doctor, Dr. Balla, I would like for us to just get right into it. I'm sure you're monitoring Nigeria's economic trends and you have the numbers. I'm quite sure about that. I've read a piece, some couple of interviews you've granted. So I'm also sure your principal's economic plan involves boosting revenue generation, perhaps blocking leakages in public finance, and even ending crude oil theft, and all of, the laudable plans that I've heard for decades now. So I know the PDP has time and again referenced the period between 1999 and 2014 as some of the best times Nigeria had economically. But even if you put that in relative terms to what, say, a Southern African country like Botswana achieved in almost the same time, then you realize that we only scratched the surface. Are we likely to move faster ahead under an Atiku presidency, so much that we can be referenced as a technologically advanced and developed country?
Right. Yes, the answer is in the affirmative. And the reason is simple. Atiku Abubakar is the presidential candidate of People's Democratic Party, whose sole ideology hinged on private participation in government. In other words, we believe in what people have come to call capitalism, but it's a mixture. We operate a mixture. But fundamentally, his policy revolves around allowing the private sector to have a full play in the economy. The difference between this administration and his own administration is that until and unless the private sector are given incentives, are given the platforms to operate and participate, you may not be able to create jobs in the economy, because the participation of private sector is what diversifies economy, is what creates competition, is what also engender opportunities for the Nigerian people. And the reason why our revenue has been dwindling is because we rely solely on oil. But even the oil that we relied on now is a trouble, because the subsidy we are putting now has taken almost all of the money. You have had a Rufai say a few days ago that the NNPC have not been able to produce 20,000 naira at the end of the year, because substantial part of what was generated was used in putting subsidy and then paying debts that the government collected. So, but our own policy revolves around creating jobs. You cannot create jobs if the economy is not stimulated. You cannot stimulate the economy if you do not allow private participation to thrive actively in the economic activities. So this fundamentally is its economic policy: private sector participation in the economy.
Dr. Balla, sometime in 2020, I did read a strong piece on the Nation newspaper titled "The Trouble with Nigeria." It's written by one of my very good friends, Olukorede Yishua, a columnist at the time, a bureau chief for politics in the Lagos region. I'm pretty sure you would have read some of his pieces as well. But some of the questions raised in that piece continues to rattle me till date. And that is because the troubles substantially remain. And they border on the issue of citizenship in Nigeria, the ethnic question, and the subject of indigenship as well. And all of these factor in leadership in Nigeria. I wonder what your position is and whether it aligns with that of your principal and his party as well.
Well, I have not read the article you are making reference to.
No, that was long ago in 2020. If you missed it, it is there. Yes. But you've read the issues that he did raise and that I referenced. I would like for you to react to that. Sir?
Can I speak, please?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, I say I have not read the article you are referring to.
Okay.
And I'm not questioning what was published in that article. However, the Nation tissue paper is one newspaper that has not been fair to others, because the owner of the Nation tissue paper is running for a post.
But the questions raised are critical.
The sense of citizenship, I don't think that citizenship or ethnicity is the reason why the economy is not thriving. There are different countries of the world where they have ethnic nationalities, where they have differences. In many areas, it can be ethnic, it can be religious, but their economies are thriving. What affects economic growth are many. But in Nigeria, because I'm sure you're talking in the context of what you're talking about is in Nigeria.
Of course.
It has been held by economists that fundamentally the trouble with our economy is that one, we are not producing, we are consuming. Two, the government policies are incoherent and inconsistent. So investors in the country are selling out their assets to fly out because of the inconsistency of government policy. Three, insecurity in the country has also not allowed investors to feel at home or to believe that their investment will bring return on investment. Four, private sector participation must be encouraged. Five, there is no power. You see, in 2016, the APC-led government promised Nigerians that they are projecting 3 years within which they are going to increase power generation by 10,000 megawatts. We have gone past the 3 years. They have not been able to do that. But if you do a scrutiny, you'll find that there has been complaint in the power sector that the private people who supply gas to the government have not been paid their money. So they have ceased in supply of gas, which has affected the generation.
And I hear you loud and clear, Dr. Balla, and I totally agree with you. But I'm somewhat surprised that you think the issue of our citizenship question and the ethnic colorations that have given rise to disunity in certain quarters is not a problem. It's not a national challenge.
Disunity has never and can never be a problem to our economic growth. If you say disunity is affecting harmony and co-relationship and coexistence in Nigeria, I will agree with you.
Can the economy thrive? Can the economy thrive in an environment where there is no peace, where there is no unity?
In America, America is more divided now than it has ever been in the history of America. The economy is thriving.
And there are speculations that America is heading towards a recession, Dr. Balla.
Well, they have not gone yet. The dollar is stronger now. You can ask anybody. This dollar is stronger now than it has ever been. Euro is collapsing. The British pound sterling is collapsing, but the dollar is stronger. Unity or disunity is not the reason for economic decline. Ask economists, they will tell you. Unity or disunity might affect our coexistence. But if you say Nigeria you're taking Nigeria as a case study, and you're saying, why is it that our economy is not thriving? I just told you, incoherent, inconsistent economic policies can affect that.
Okay, I'll get to that, Dr. Balla. We need to move. We need to move quickly ahead. We're fast losing time, and honestly, there's too much.
Us behind.
Yes, sorry. Please say again.
No, you were the one that kept us. You said.
Oh no, sorry about that. But let me just quickly let's quickly run along here. I mean, there's too much going on all at once, and having to pinpoint specific areas of your principles. A 5-point agenda for national development has been quite tedious for me. I don't have the executive brief, so please give me a sense of direction on where Atiku Abubakar stands on curbing an issue like environmental degradation, and something quite important to me personally. I lived in Lagos for many years, and so traffic congestion is quite an issue for someone like me. Perhaps you give us a bit of idea on his plan as well on urban renewal in old settlements and his prototype for new and modern cities.
Well, that is a question you should have put to Asiwaju, who is campaigning on Lagos.
But I'm asking you now. You are the one on the ballot. So why don't you just go ahead and answer for now? We would in due time ask him same question.
Atiku's plan is not limited to Lagos. It is Nigeria. He's not running to become a governor of Lagos. He's running to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And our economic plan, like I laid out to you, I talked about the aspect of insecurity, which is part of our mandate. I talked about the aspect of the economy, which we believe strongly. And we believe that economy thrives when there's a private participation. Unity is also fundamental because we want a Nigeria that works for everyone. And we want a Nigeria where everybody in Nigeria will feel he's a part of the country. We believe also in restructuring. Restructuring is another area or another problem that is affecting us, where federating units are not functioning optimally.
So questions like environmental pollution and degradation should be for certain candidates and not for your candidates.
Sorry, come again.
So questions on environmental degradation and pollution should be for certain candidates, but not for your candidates.
No, is that a question or you're making a point?
It's actually a question because you just referenced another candidate when I asked you my last
You're
question.
asking it wrongly. Rephrase the question.
I wanted to know what your principal's plan is on the issue of environmental pollution. But rather than answering the question, you said I should ask the APC candidates that question because he lives or governed Lagos.
The reason is because you mentioned Lagos. You said
I said old cities. Maybe you probably didn't get that right. I said urban renewal
I
of old
believe that what
cities.
has been recorded can always be played. You mentioned Lagos. You say you also lived in Lagos.
If I did, then I apologize.
If you permit
but
me, I will answer. You are interjecting.
Dr. Balla, if I did, then I apologize. I actually meant for old cities and what
so
PDP's plan for urban renewal is.
So pay attention, I will answer.
I am actually listening to you, Dr. Balla. Please just go ahead quickly. We need to tick the boxes with you.
Now, this is our economic plan. We believe that gas flaring is one of the problems affecting the Niger Delta. Gas flaring is affecting the greenhouse gases. This is one of the problems confronting not just Nigeria but the world, which is the reason why the International Convention on Climate Change are constantly meeting and having conversation around reducing the gas emission, reduce gas emission to 1.8, I think, or something like that. With the rest of the world, this is their point. With Africa, they are providing incentives so that Africans will stop those, activities or habits, because climate change is caused, one, by human phenomenon, the second one by human beings' action. So gas flaring is one of them. Environmental degradation is also caused by this, what do we call this, bunkering in the Niger Delta. And Atiku Abubakar has granted an interview where he said that the bunkering and the oil theft is caused by a conspiracy of ball players, both in the NNPC, people in localities, and some people in government. And he said when he becomes president, he will look into it and will not tolerate that.
I hear you, Dr. Balla. Very quickly, we don't, in fact, we're completely out of time. But just before you go, I would like for you to help us tick some boxes here. These are just key issues of national concerns that we have raised. But just before we go to that, let's just take a quick break and we'll be right back for ticking the boxes. You're watching Insights, and it's now time for our guests to tick some of the boxes that we have here. Like you do know, if you've been watching us, some of the, or most on all of the issues in the boxes within a time frame of 4 years. So we would ask our guest, Dr. Balla, to help us just look at the boxes. The platform, we'll just put that up quickly, very quickly on the screen. If you can see, there are a couple of items, Dr. Balla, on the screen. First is adequate power. We would like for you to tick the boxes here for us. Do you think your principal, an Atiku presidency, would, within a period of 4 years, be able to provide Nigeria with adequate power? Is it a realistic goal? For you, is it an unrealistic goal? Are you undecided on the matter?
25,000 megawatts in the first 4 years.
Please say again.
We plan on generating 25,000 megawatts through the blueprint that we have provided.
And your belief is that will be adequate
in the power sector
for the country nationally in terms of generation, transmission, and distribution?
Are you asking second question or the first?
No, I mean, put that in proper context for us.
You asked, do I think that my presidential candidate will improve on power? I think in our manifesto, we have promised that we're going to generate 25,000 megawatts.
So for you, that's a realistic goal. Let's quickly go to the second item on the box there. Ending oil dependency. That's something that your presidency, if that were to happen, could achieve in 4 years.
Oil is fundamental part of our economy. Our economic plan with relation to oil is to remove the subsidy and then use the proceeds that we get to subsidize areas like transportation and areas like education, so we can improve our economy, our education.
So which option are you taking there?
Which option like what?
Which option for ending oil dependency are you taking? Is it a realistic goal? Can you achieve? Can you achieve it? Can your presidency or an Atiku presidency within the period of 4 years end Nigerians' dependency on oil?
You are the one that generated the question. Our own plan is not ending oil dependency. Our economic blueprint is to remove subsidy, use the proceeds from subsidy to subsidize transportation, to invest in so many areas of the economy. So when you create a question, you push it as though we are the ones that created the box that you want us to tick. When you ask me a question, I tell you what our plans are. Oh, you want me to lie?
No, I'm not asking you to lie, Dr. Balla. I am saying we've been talking about diversification of the economy. Would your presidency be diversifying the economy so much that we do not have to depend on just oil? That is the question. Is it a goal that is realistic for an Atiku presidency? Is it a goal?
No,
sorry, Dr. Balla, if you just allow me explain so you get the context, you get where I'm coming from, and maybe that will make it a whole lot easier for you to tick our boxes here. Is that okay?
You are wrong. We never said we are going to.
I did not say your party said that. These are some issues that we've set for candidates to answer. We are not saying your party said so. We are saying, do you think these are realistic goals or these are not?
No, you are getting it. You cannot say, is that a realistic goal? You only ask if it's a realistic goal, if it is a goal set by us. Understand the basic principles. You are asking a question you coin. Our own is not to end oil dependency. We are to remove oil subsidy. We are to diversify the economy and create other means of revenue generation.
Okay, perfect. I would leave that for now. Let's go quickly to the number 3 item.
No, I have answered it.
I understand, and I'm moving on to the next item. Favorable climate or business, favorable business climate. Is that something you're also looking towards creating?
Yes. That is the core component of the vision of our.
So that is realistic for you. I will take realistic there for you. Then let's go to the very last one, which is the ending nepotism in government. Is that something you would also end within 4 years of your administration? Is that a goal you're also looking to ending?
I'm glad by your question you admit there is nepotism. We are against nepotism. I will work towards ensuring, as part of our plan,
that's also something realistic. I would like to thank you very much, Dr. Daniel Balla, spokesperson, Atiku Abubakar presidential campaign. I know, I mean, it's late hours there in Paris, France. I'd like to thank you so much for coming on the ballot. Hopefully, we will be able to get your principal sometime real soon to appear on the ballot. I'm pretty sure our viewers would be looking forward to that. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
And that's it. Today is 128 days in our countdown to election day, February 25, 2023. I know a lot of Nigerians are eagerly awaiting the D-Day. As a lot of you do, a lot of us actually anticipate that. I'd like for you to be prepared. We are all getting set for that day. Please do join us same time tomorrow for more on the ballot. My name is Nnamdi Odipo. See you then.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you